Hello and welcome to our Forest Park podcast. My name is Elena Carpenter and I am the Director of Children's Ministries here at Forest Park. And today I am joined by Adon Lanas. I've gotten to know Adon over the past couple years as he has served in kids ministry and at Mega Camp over the summer. So Adon, I'm really excited to get to talk with you today.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for having me here today.
Of course. So I wonder if just for anyone who might not have met you before, if you could just introduce yourself, tell us who you are and who your family is.
Sure. So my name is Adon Laines. And my family, I am married to Jaylee, and we both had a boy, a wonderful boy whose name is Pablo. Yeah, he is 8 years old right now. He's in second grade, and he's actually at the same school where I am teaching at right now.
That's so fun that you guys can be together. And
yes.
Pablo is such a cute and sweet little boy. It's been fun to get to know him too.
Thank you.
So a few years ago, you brought your family over from Honduras to the United States, and that's quite a story. So I just wonder if you would share it with us.
Oh, yes. It was at the beginning when I say yes to the offering, it was like an adventure for me. Because I've been always like that kind of boy. And I am learning now to say no sometimes. Because before saying yes to the offering of coming here into the U.S., I was always saying yes to everything, almost everything. And so it's been a great blessing to be here in the States, because as many of you might know, for people in Honduras, it's kind of hard, like to get a visa, a tourist visa, to come and visit this place. And the type of visa that I do have, it's a work visa, which is also super hard to get. But somehow it was in God's plans for me and my family to come into this country, and so it was very, very quick and easy, the process of coming into the States and also getting a visa. And the story goes back to when I work in Tegucigalpa. Tegucigalpa, it's the capital of Honduras. And so there I've been, since I graduated from high school, I've been working as a teacher. I don't know anything else to do except teaching. And so there I started, the school that I graduated from has different campus. I was born and grown in La Union, and which is in another, not a state, we call them departments there, departamento. So that is like 5 hours away from the capital, from Tegucigalpa. And so when I graduated in the campus in La Union, I received an offer to start working as an assistant, a teacher assistant in the campus of Tegucigalpa. And so it was kind of cool because their offering was that I was able to work with them as an assistant, but also I was able to study in college. And so I took advantage of that offer, and so I said yes. I said bye to my family in La Union, and then I moved to Tegucigalpa and I started working over there. And I met my boss was the principal of the school at that time, and so we get to build a good relationship each other. And so the time of COVID came, which was 2019, I believe so. But I'm not sure where it started in Honduras. I don't remember the year. But somehow that friend, her name is Maria. She was my boss there in Honduras. She decided to quit in that time. So she decided to quit her job. And so I continued to teach. And suddenly, one time while I was checking tests in my room, I received a text through Messenger. And it was a text from her. And she was telling me, Aran, will you be interested in applying into a teaching job over here here in the States? And I say, well, yes. Yes. And so I did it. Like that, I started applying he over here. But so far, I thought it was only me applying to the job. And I didn't know that there were like other 8 teachers who were also applying over here. But finally, I met with the principal of Muskegon Christian School, which is the school that I'm working here for. And so he said, we do like you, and we see that you could be a good teacher in our school. And so, yes, we are accepting you, and we are telling you yes. And so in Honduras, I wasn't married to Jaylee. We already had Pablo, but we were not married. Jaylee was in my hometown in La Union with Pablo, and I was in Tegucigalpa. So it was like not an open relationship, but both of us were like in different places. Okay. But we always in contact. We were always in contact. I've been always like aware of what's going on with Pablo and also with her. And so one of the things that the principal told me is, do you have family? And I said, yes, but I am not married to Jaylee, so I don't know how is that going to work. And so he said, well, we want you over here on our school, but it's difficult for us to bring your family if you don't have them as your dependents. So it's up to you. It's up to you. And so since that, I knew that it was God's plan for Jaylee and I to I don't know how to say the word, but our relationship to be stronger. And so I took the decision to ask Jaylee if she was open to marry me at that time. And at the beginning, she was kind of doubting of the offer because we didn't know this place. We didn't know anybody here except Maria, which was my friend. And so we say, well, we are going to do it. And so we actually officially got married with Jaylee. And after that, I talked to Mr. Scout, that's Nathan Scout, the principal of the school over here. And I said, okay, we are married already. So it's up to you. And so they say, well, that's good. That's good. And we start the process. And in 3 months, everything was all set. In 3 months, they say you have the visa, now you have your passports, everything is approved. Now we are going to buy your flights to the States. And Jaylee couldn't believe it. Pablo, he was not aware of what was going on, but he was very happy to come with us over here. It was their first experience flying also, and so it was good for them. And it took us around 14 hours to arrive from Honduras up to here. And everything was very good. It was just a step of courage that we took, because we flew from Honduras on a Sunday, and so we didn't have like dollars with us. I have a brother-in-law over here, which is Patrick. His name is Patrick Hughes. And he told us, you can exchange your money into dollars in the airport. And so we were waiting for that. And when we get there, we just noticed that it was a Sunday. And the guy who changed money there wasn't there that day. Oh, no. And so we have our money in lempiras, which is the name of the bill in Honduras, lempira. We had the money with us, a good amount of money, but we couldn't change it. And so my parents were there like, what are you going to do now? What are you going to do? And so I said, don't worry. Please leave this money with you. And I'm just going to take 1,000 lempiras, which is about $50. And so I will see what we can do with her. And so Jaylee was looking to me and, are you serious? Are we flying without money? And I said, yes. And that's the first step of faith that I took while coming into here. And so everything in the flights went smooth. And we didn't have a place where to change the lempiras that we had with us in the airports in the States. And so we were there without money, without any money to buy food or drinks. But somehow we were having that connection gate in a specific spot. And so we went there. And our flight to Grand Rapids was there in the screen, and it said that's the right gate. And so we were there. But somehow some flights got delayed, and the flight company there just brought some food for the people who was waiting there. And so we start eating over there, and suddenly they just switch the gate, and they say, you are not flying from here, you are flying from another place, from another gate. And so Jaylee was asking me, why are they doing this? Mm-hmm. And so I just told her because the mana was here. Mm-hmm. Our food for us was here. Yeah. And so that's the first step that we took. And then we finally made it to here. And it's been, since that time, it's been a step of faith. Everything that we have been doing, it's been like through God and with his guidance, and a big amount of faith from our part.
It sounds like it. That's such a huge transition for all of you.
It was.
Had any of you been to the United States before that?
No, never. And not that I don't like this place, but it was never in my plans to come into this country or even to come and have a job as a teacher over here.
Right. And why Michigan? Like, did you know anything about Michigan? I guess you said your brother-in-law was here.
Yes. And that was one of the first things that I did. My brother-in-law is Patrick Hughes, and that's why we are here in Forest Park Covenant Church, because his family joined this church, and so you asked me why Michigan. I have been like I always study English since I was in third grade in La Union, and every year we had the news that there were mission groups coming. And so I always took the advantage of that opportunity to practice my English. And for somehow we also have like teachers from this area, from Michigan. So everything that I knew about the States was about Michigan. And but I never thought I was going to end up over here. Yeah. Okay. And so that's I didn't took the decision to come here just because I wanted to be in Michigan, but because I received the offer from this school, and somehow it ended up to be a school that was in Michigan, and it's been very cool because most of the people that I have met again here were people that I met over there in their mission trips, and so I help translating for them, and they get to know me. Also, a few teachers remember me from when they were my teachers, and that's how I have been like building connections over here too.
It's so amazing that God brought you to Forest Park when we do have that connection with Honduras. And
yeah, that's right. And when I first came to the church here, I didn't know that this specific church was the one that was also sending like mission trips over there.
Yes.
And it was so cool when I get here the first time, and I saw like, or different people came towards me and saying, "Hi, how are you? Yeah. You are from Honduras, yes, and we have been there, and we have been working in Chimisal." And so, Chimisal, yes. Well, that's a town that is very close to my hometown. And so that's how we have been like building connections over here.
That is so amazing how God worked out all those details.
Yes, it is amazing, yeah. And the cool thing also is that my sister, which is married to Patrick, they were dated for about 10 years or so while he was working with Aldea Coffee there. And they finally took the decision to also get married. But in order to fix or to have everything set up with the immigration status for them, they couldn't be here. they were, after they got married, they had to spend some time in Belize. They spent some time in Costa Rica before she got the green card.
Okay.
And 3 months before I moved here, she moved here. And so, and we are, my family, it's only 4. My 2 parents, my sister, and I. It's only 4. And so my sister moved here 3 months before I did it. 3 months after, I came over here. And it's been a blessing. My mom was kind of worried because she was saying, Grisel, which is the name of my sister, Grisel doesn't know how to speak English, and she knows nobody there. I don't know how she's going to be doing with that. And somehow I think my sister was kind of worried too, because Patrick family, it's over here, but the language, it's a barrier that she has. And after that, when my mom received the news from me that I was also coming to this place, she was so happy. She was sad at some point because her 2 kids were coming this way, but also she was happy because she knew that we were going to be in the same place and that we are going to keep like looking at each other.
That's amazing.
So it's been good, yes.
Have you been able to visit your family, or do you think your parents would ever consider moving to the States?
I don't think they will consider to move into the States. I know they are wishing, they are willing to come. And yes, going back to your question, yes, we have had the opportunity, the chance to go back. We spent last summer there with them for about 2 months with them. We do a lot of fun things like going to the beach, going to different places in Honduras together. And it is always sad to come back because it's really hard to say bye to the ones you loved. Yes. And it's even harder because they don't have a visa. Right. And to get a visa for them, it's not impossible, but it's going to take a while. They already have like their appointment for the visa, but it's not going to be until 2026. Okay. So we are praying. We are hoping that they are going to make it this way too, because we would like to show them how is West Michigan during summer.
Yes, it's a beautiful time to be in West Michigan.
Yes. Yes.
So I can't quite imagine the culture shock when you moved here and how different everything has been. Can you just tell us what that transition has been like for you and for your family?
Yeah. So as you know, I told you before, I learned English since I was in 3rd grade, since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And something that helped me develop my English was the fact that I had teachers from here, and also that I was able to translate for different mission trips. But when I got in the plane from Honduras to Atlanta, everything was fine because people there, everybody mostly speak Spanish. But once I got the plane from Atlanta to Grand Rapids, everything turned into English. And so there was the time where I said, oops, what's going on here? Because everything was English. And even though I knew English, the difference of the accent makes it difficult for us to get used to that. And for Pablo and for Jaylee was worse because they don't know English, or at that time they didn't know English. And so Jaylee was just depending on me. Everything was on me. And also Pablo was like, what are they saying? What are they talking about? And so it was really, really hard. But that was only in the plane. Once we get there here, Patrick and Grisel went for us to the airport, and we start like talking again in Spanish. But then when I start like meeting people from the school and visiting different places or going to have some food in different places, everything was in English. And so even though I knew English, I know how to speak in English, it was hard for me sometimes like to express myself or even to understand what other people were telling me, because you do speak really fast.
Right, yeah.
And I was used to teach English over there in Honduras, but slow English.
Yes.
And so it was really, really, really hard for us. But we continue to pray. And I was the only one who was going to work at the school. And so we decided to enroll Pablo in the MCS. Muskegon Christian has like 2 systems. or two programs, the Spanish program and the English program. So because Pablo didn't know English, we decided to enroll him in English, and he was supposed to come to first grade here, but then because he didn't know any English, they decided to enroll him in K5. So it was like a decision for us too. Quite of a decision, and so we say, well, we have to, and so he started. And the first 3 months, we just had a boy in our house crying and saying, "I don't have any friends. Please, can we go back to Honduras? Because I don't have any friends. I don't understand what the teacher is talking about." And so this was every single day. He was crying and he was crying and he was crying. And I didn't know about Jaylee, because Jaylee, I just left to school at 7 o'clock and I came back at 4 or 5 because I had to spend more time reading the curriculum and in order to know what I had to do. And I didn't actually have the courage to ask Jaylee, "How are you doing?" Because I knew that she was having a hard time.
Yeah.
And now, a day that she's feeling comfortable here, I asked her, was it a good adjustment for you at the beginning? And she said, no. Whenever you left to school, I spent a bunch of hours here crying, asking the Lord if it was the right decision. And even for me, when I had Pablo, when I saw Pablo like crying this amount of times during the day, I was also asking God, did I make the right decision? Do you really want us to be here? And so somehow Pablo just got the English language, and now he's quite a boy in the school. He's very friendly. Now he has friends. He understands everything that it's been taught in school. And now JD also has friends here to hang out with. And something that it's been a great blessing to us as a family is Patrick's family. Sherry Hughes and Douglas Hughes and his family and their family. They are being so I mean, they have received us as a family. And we every Sunday we get together to have dinner and to discuss how our lives are going. And so that's been making our adjustment here in this country very, very smooth.
That's so cool.
Yes. So, yeah.
It sounds like God has provided for you every step of the way, even when it hasn't been easy.
Yes. It's only Him. It's only Him working. And something that God usually does in my mind, in my head, it's to remind me every single day that He has a plan. And so in the last couple of weeks in my school, I have been teaching the story about Abraham. And so I just take that word that he said to Abraham: leave your hometown and go, and I will bless you. Just believe. And that's what I'm trying to do with my family. I never asked him again, is this your will for us to be here? I just decided to believe in him. And in the last couple of months, we have been going through kind of difficult situations, but God has been faithful, and He has been there with us, like helping us and providing for us. So yeah, it's been, I know this is God's plan, and I'm going to be here doing whatever He wants me to do.
So what are some of the things you would say are the biggest ways that you've seen God at work since you've been here?
So number one is getting a visa for me and my family. That is something that not many companies do for people from Honduras. So getting to be in Muskegon Christian School has been a great blessing for me and my family in that way, getting a visa. Plus, once I finished the first year here of teaching, the principal just met with me and he told me, we have been looking to you and we like what you do. And I think you're a great teacher. And so right now I'm taking the decision to offer you to sponsor your residency here. And it's up to you. And it's up to you. Do you like this place? Do you like the school? And I said, yes. Yes, I do like the school. I like the environment. I like the staff. And I was thinking about this season, the winter, because we are not used to snow and to this cold. But when he told me we are going to sponsor your residency if you decided to stay more time with us, so I say, well, this is God telling me we have to be here. And also the school, it's very cool because it has been giving me the opportunity to help other people in Honduras, which is what my will is to I know that if God blesses me, it's because I also have to bless people over there. And so I have been able to do different projects with my students in school in order to bless people in Honduras. Last year, we got a bunch of money in order to send that money to my church in Honduras, so they can celebrate Mother's Day over there. And so we had a very cool time with my kids, also practicing their Spanish with that. And like that, I can mention like different small things that I have been like looking God working through the school that I work for.
That's so cool.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. I guess I have one final question for you, which is, do you have any hopes or dreams coming up, or where do you kind of see your family over the next few years?
Yes. Something that I am willing to have my family grown. So that means we are willing to have another child, another kid. So hopefully we can do it.
That's so exciting.
And I am willing to continue working in Muskegon Christian School because I know that God has plans for us and God has plans for the kids that I work with. And so if teaching Spanish to them, it's God's plan or God's will, I'm going to keep doing that. And also, I don't want you to take this like I am white. I don't like the church or this church, but I am willing to get a place or not find a place to get a place or to build a place or even here where Spanish speakers can enjoy or can actually come to a place where they can worship the Lord in their own language and to remember their customs as our countries, because that's what happened with Jaylee. You have seen her that she comes to church with me, and whenever we are driving back home, I ask her, "Did you understand what the pastor said?" And she said, "Well, not really, not really." And so sometimes that makes me feel like, well, I have to work. I have to work to build programs or to do something where people can go to church and they can actually understand, even though it's not their language. Yes. So that's somehow like kind of a plan that I have. Maybe we can do that here in this church to create a program where I can even translate for people who are willing to join here the service, but they can actually understand English. Yes.
Oh, I'm excited where that could take us.
For sure.
I love that idea.
For sure.
Well,
Yes.
Adon, thank you so much. There's so much to your story, and I'm sure more we could talk about, but I really appreciate you being here and just sharing what God has done in your life.
Yeah, thank you for having me here, and it's been a pleasure to be part of this church, and I'm looking forward to continue coming here and to continue also serving somehow in this community in church. Yeah, thank you.